This artwork has been supplied to me free of charge from Fanhome.com. Please pop along to their website and see all of the other build-up artworks that they have to offer, as well as other collections of collectible things. Thank you once more to Fanhome for providing me with this kit. I hope you enjoy the build. Hello, I'm Chris. This is Gross Models. Welcome to issue 4 of Building Robocop. This is a big in-depth build episode. We're building an entire hand. So yeah, buckle in and get ready for it. First of all, we're going to look at the creators of Robocop. I assume model making by the looks of the picture. Yeah, model design, character design, everything, all good stuff. Feel free to pause and read all of the words. But I want to get straight in and build the right hand. We've got lots of pieces. So yeah, it's fairly complicated, but fairly straightforward as well. So complex, but not complicated. So we'll get all the fingers built and then we'll install them into the hand. And that's what the hand looks like, in case you weren't aware. Julian Tiriano and his automation monk, automaton, not automation, automaton. Yeah, all of the robots from history. Tactile virtual reality, that's going to be quite interesting. I wonder what they're going to be doing with that. No, we won't wonder at all. We'll just carry on and move on. Yeah, force feedback, instead of just a rumble controller vibration function, actually going to force your fingers and feel like you're actually grabbing something, because it's going to add some resistance with the gloves or indeed into a suit. So that is going to be interesting. They keep toying with it, but it hasn't really hit mainstream yet, but I think it's very, very soon. So let me clear this out of the way and let me build some fingers. Here we go. I have already built a couple because I wanted to make sure I could. Yeah, they work well. The thumb and first finger, obviously that's how it's fully articulated on all of the joints. Even sprung a little bit. It's a strange way of putting these together. The Robocop, the Iron Man fingers were much the same, but without the springs. These ones, hopefully, you can just about make out. They have a spring in each joint, or 2 springs, or spring in each joint. So the way this works is the top piece pops together, just sort of the back of the finger goes onto the fingertip, and then that fits into there. But it doesn't just fit into there with a screw. It does fit into there with a screw. Around that screw is a spring. So the way I found easiest way of doing this is to put the spring on the screw thusly, and then fit that through the big hole, through the hole in the middle in the joint that you're fitting on, like so, and make sure it does line up. If it doesn't line up, then you won't be able to screw it in properly. That feels like that is lining up, so double check and then tighten it down. Not tightening down, so it's not lined up. Wiggle it around a little bit. Definitely in there. See, didn't have any trouble at all doing the first 2. I thought, yeah, that's all right. We'll be able to do this live on a camera. No trouble at all. And obviously, the first one I try live on camera, there's trouble. That's not biting. Maybe I just need to push it a bit harder. Or maybe it's not lined up quite right. It could be one of many things. It feels like that's going in there now. So yeah, make sure it does line up properly before tightening it down properly. Like so. So that gives you another fingertip that works and probably hold his gun. Let's get the other one of these done, and then I shall do the last couple of fingers off camera, and then come back and show you fitting the fingers to the palm. So once again, I'll get that through there, like so. Get that lined up on there, like that. Through there, through the middle bit, and into the other side. Working. Doesn't feel like it is, so let's give it a little wiggle about until we feel when it's going to locate across in the other side. Bit like that. No, not like that at all. Right there. That might be it. Or not. That's still springy, so it's not going in there. I shall get this done off camera, and I'm sure as soon as I stop recording, it will work perfectly. But for now, that joint is not going in, so I'll come back to that one. But I'll get these other fingers done and show you it being attached. There we go, all of the fingers and indeed the thumb built. I've left them in the correct order because otherwise I'll get confused. I did mention they do provide another screwdriver this issue for the smaller screws, but I've used one on my own. Next up, we are using the metal piece. We're fitting this ball joint socket to it because that's where we're going to be attaching this obviously to the arm in the future. So that goes on there, that goes on the top. And we're using a couple of the different screws for this, the BM screws. So obviously this is going into metal. And there we have that. 2 screws will hold that together. Much easier to do this because you know exactly where they're going. It says making a pig's ear of it. There we go, that's that. Ready to be popped onto the wrist at a later date. Now, as with all of these part works, I'm sure that this is the biggest part, the biggest build part that we're going to be doing for a while. I would expect the other hand will not be supplied in a single issue. I'm expecting that to be over the course of a few. So yeah, then that's going to go together like that, almost like that. Yeah, I'm just thinking, did I do it wrong? Let me double check and make sure that I did need to screw those together. But I wasn't expecting there to be more screw holes, but there are. Yeah, that goes on there. Anyway, those are bigger screw holes that you can't do anyway. You might need to get to that to loosen it to pop the wrist on, maybe. So we've got to put the fingers and everything in there. Now these have a ball joint so they can be rotated. Is that going to be? Yeah. Looks like they're going to fit in there securely. Going to pop in there, or is that just going to sit in there? Can't quite tell. And it didn't really mention it in the instructions, I don't think. Let me double check. I shall see and see how it goes together. One thing I should mention as well, this is a cover that just goes on there and covers over the screw holes magnetically. I know some people did have trouble with the head magnet coming loose. I didn't. I had trouble with this magnet coming loose. So I have just glued that in place in there, nice and secure. So when that goes on the place, it shouldn't then. No, that magnet will stay in there. What was happening before was I pulled that off as a test fit and the magnet came off on there. So it didn't do that this time. So I'm happy. That's going to go in there as a thumb. Let's try it and see. Let's just rest these on and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. And little finger. Should be able to rotate them if you do get them the wrong way around anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that. That's going to go on there like so. And I have got them all the wrong way around because I was thinking that this is the front of the finger instead of the back. So let's rotate all of those around. Otherwise it will look very, very deformed. So I think that will hold them in place quite securely once it's screwed down. So 2 more BM screws to hold that in place. Let's try it and see. Go through there. with the screw on the end, staying on the end, as opposed to playing around loose everywhere. Come on. There you go. That through there. That in, and then tighten it up once the other one is in place as well. Nice to get an even tightening rather than one all the way and then the other one all the way. That is there. Come back, tighten this one down some more. Make sure that one's tight. Fairly happy with that. And that one just about there as well. So that is that. So let's check the fingers out. That one's still the wrong way around. Look, broken little finger. So that should turn. I might need to loosen that to turn that. They're not designed to rotate while they're in place. It does a bit, but they're fine. And that one will be fine once I slacken this off a little bit. Don't want to break the shaft that's attached to. Little ball joint thing. There we go, that's better. Around a little bit more. So we get a proper fist. Because Robocop is right-handed. Does hold his gun in his right hand because it lives in his right thigh, doesn't it? So there we have hand complete. Fully articulated fingers and thumb, actually looking quite nice. You can do all sorts of rude gestures, which you won't. You can do the rock god. There we go. We'll do that one. That's right, the Spider-Man. So yeah, there we have a hand completed in a single episode. So that's that. Stick around. Next one is a very short episode, but I do have something else to show you while I'm looking at it. So see you for that very soon. So thanks for watching. See you safe. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye for now.